Hi guys, mainly on my A6400 camera, I have two lenses that I always use. The Sigma 16mm 1.4 and this 16 to 50mm kit lens. Now the Sigma 16mm 1.4 is very beautiful and I always use it all the time. I mean, most of my YouTube videos are shot with it, but why do I favor this in terms of bringing it around? It's because it's far lighter and more portable in terms of size and in terms of weight compared to the Sigma 16mm 1.4. Now for this video, I'm trying to convince you guys why do I think that this 16mm 1.4 is necessary in terms of your workflow. Now as you guys know, there isn't a lot of things that I can shoot in my home studio, but I'm going to bring you guys out to the new Apple store that has just opened at Marina Bay Sands. Now we're going to take some sample images along with some video clips to be able to show you the quality of it so that you have an understanding of how good this lens is before we make a judgment or me going down on some of the pointers on why you should get this lens. So just to preface this, I mainly just use this kit lens without any filters, so what you see is really what you get. So let's get started. While taking and editing these photos, I was constantly reminded of how sharp the 60 to 50mm kit lens can be. The photos were shot in RAW, as I also applied my favorite preset with light adjustments to the photo to further enhance the details and colors. And here are two time lapses I've done with the kit lens with the help of a motorized slider. If you'd like to get the preset, links will be provided in the description below. I have included the shutter speed, aperture and ISO over here, but if you like more of the shot details, they are over on my Flickr account. So I hope you guys like the footages and images that's captured on this lens. It's impressive, right? Right? If not, I'll cover 4 of the selling points which I think this camera lens really works for me. Number 1, light. Now this camera lens is really light, coming at only 116 grams is super light compared with even your mobile phones. Now for perspective, this is my Samsung S10 Plus mobile phone, which weighs about 150 grams, which is 35 grams heavier than my kit lens. This is really quite light to me, but having even it at 116 grams is really crazy and it probably weighs nothing once you put it in your bag, which is a huge selling point if you're planning to carry light just like me. Number 2, price. You know how much this lens only costs? If you plan to get it with your A6400 or your APS-C camera, it only costs 100 USD, which is seriously dirt cheap. There's no other lens that you can get this at this amount unless you're planning to go for manual vintage lenses, which aren't very helpful if you plan to use it for a video. Now, do you guys like to go to Disneyland? You know what? Recently I checked out the price tag of Disneyland tickets, and each one of them costs about $250, which basically means you can get 2.5 of this lens, which really tells you how affordable this really is. Number 3, OSS. Now, OSS stands for Optical Steady Shot. It's basically the camera's inbuilt ability to be able to stabilize the shot. Now, where can you find this OSS? If you take a closer look, there's this thing called OSS written here. Not all lenses have OSS. Only this camera of this size have OSS. The next closest one is actually 18 to 105, which has OSS, which is really quite a chunky size of a camera lens. Now, there are debatable points in terms of whether OSS or IBIS, which is the image stabilization of certain camera bodies such as the A6600, is better, but I would think that OSS is actually good enough in terms of stabilizing your shot unless you really plan to shake your camera like crazy. If you plan to do vlogging or moving around content just like me, the OSS will definitely help in terms of stabilizing your shot. I don't really like the warp stabilizer that is in Premiere Pro, as sometimes it doesn't give a very natural look to it, so I'll depend a lot on my camera to stabilize the shot as best as possible. Having more stabilized shot, basically it appeals a lot more to the viewers and make it more watchable comparing with content which a lot shakier. Number 4, PZ. Now PZ, what the heck is PZ? PZ is power zoom. If you look closer over here, you can see that the word power zoom is here and there's this toggle. Now this PZ is really helpful if you plan to zoom in towards a certain subject. Zooming in manually with your hands in turning the focus ring or the zoom ring does not necessarily ensure a very good and smooth flow in terms of the movement. Now what do I really mean by that? Here are two footages taken, one with using the PZ and one just using a manual focus. Now, these PZ functions may not appeal to photographers a lot, but for videos, this will make a hell lot of a difference, and in my experience, I've used this a ton lot. So after using this for 1 year, these are my 4 favorite points which I think you should consider if you plan on getting this lens. But honestly, if either of these does not appeal to you, then there isn't a reason to consider this lens. But for videographers out there, this is actually a pinch in terms of the price tag, and it's really portable. All the points that I mentioned on this, except for PZ, works the same for my A7 II, the kit lens, which is the 28 to 70mm. For all of my paid shoots, I even use this kit lens to be able to shoot it. Now, of course, it's not the best at the widest in terms of the 3.5 or even at the end, which is about a 5.6. But if you go beyond that, it's actually really sharp and can give you excellent results. So kit lenses are a very viable option and affordable option, of course, in terms of lenses, even in 2020. Now, if you guys want more sample images, I've actually put up some of them in my Flickr account, which I've linked down in the description below. So do check them out to be able to see the photo settings which I shot them at. Now, if you guys want to help me, I actually have all my affiliate links which are below, which basically means that if you click and buy on them, I get a small commission without you guys paying a single cent more. It's an excellent and free way to thank me for my time for coming out with these kind of videos. Now, I hope this video has helped you. Do remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and ring the bell notification over here to be able to be updated of my latest video. If not, I'll see you guys and my kit lens in the next video.